Starlight pauses for a moment to remind us that these two are voiced by the same person. Forget energy drinks. Learning to conform with others is what really gives you wings. Fun fact, 7 foals had to be exiled to achieve this perfect racial diversity. You can add countryism to the list of ponyisms. Ponyism, a word or phrase that may not have been invented by MLP, but because of MLP, ponies are now in the top search results. This clock never moves. Stop. Equal time. Fun fact, taken out of context, this is the world's least impressive transformation scene. Applejack knocks this over in the name of random violence. Angel slams the door with the power of his little angry bunny mind.
Castle is amazing.
It'd be nice to see the memo from Hasbro that forced Twilight to have it both ways. Fine, you can have the purple one trying to avoid the castle, but he has to call it amazing at some point. Spike sleeping with a Rarity plush is only weird because she's not fictional in this universe. At least that's what I keep telling myself. It's okay, Pinky. You're not the first to have your headcanon explode.
A real reptile expert. I'm a dragon!
The only thing keeping dragons from being classified as reptiles is the fact dragons are not real. Congrats, Spike, you played yourself. The adults just won't listen cliché. Worse still when we're talking about main characters. That is, if you count Brayburn and these background ponies. Oddly appropriate for the sheriff to take the Apple approach to damaged products. If the mattress is broken, clearly the bed frame needs to be replaced as well. Fluttershy is either giving Discord the cold shoulder, or she's just too mesmerized to look away from those giant eyebrows. Discord appears to forget, then check his lines.
And I'll make sure that the ooze that he can't help but secrete doesn't get on any. Even I can fly better than Twilight Sparkle.
Hey!
That moment when your mentor and idol laughs at your expense and your self-confidence takes a permanent hit, leading you to eventually descend from mighty ruler to underpaid teacher, which, long story short, is a career choice that gets you trapped in pony hell. All because of this one tragic moment.
What is he doing? I think they're jokes?
Never before with such intensity have I felt the ponies directly speak to me.
Griffins were known to be rude, insensitive bullies. You mean Gilda?
Attributing harsh generalizations to a group of people based on the impressions of a single negative interaction. You know, racism.
And you are... Gilda? You sure about that?
Obviously cut joke was cut obviously. We all know Dash responded with, "Are you sure about that, Gilda?"
Muffin?
Back in October 2010, episode 1 aired, and it happened to feature a background pony with derped eyes. Fans quickly became attached and dubbed her Derpy, giving her a muffin-loving personality. It just so happened the show had plans to introduce a ditzy character of its own, but after seeing fan reaction to this background oddity, they made Derpy the new ditzy. As fan appreciation grew, Derpy made her first vocal appearance in Season 2's The Last Roundup, but unfortunately, due to mistaken voice direction, legal issues, overbearing political correctness, Derpy was censored in future airings of the episode, which caused fan outrage and inspired a movement rallying around her. It was largely due to this immense support that we saw Derpy return later episodes, but it was this appearance here, which is the culmination of over half a decade of fan support, that we finally see and hear Derpy in all her wall-eyed, muffin-loving glory.
But it's not like anything bad happened.
Do you think A, the episode ends here? B, something good happens? Or C, something bad happens? It's funny because Spike is useless. No, wait, that's not funny at all.
Not let Princess Twilight give Canterlot a bad name in the eyes of Equestrian.
Now, let's form a lynch mob and literally storm her castle to restore our good name. The Yaks are a simple people. Whatever you do, don't startle them with flashy unicorn magic, or I'm going to needlessly teleport to them. Starlight Glimmer branded glue, made from all natural equine dissidents.
All we have to do is show them how great it can be to have friends.
Is this before or after we convince them we're not a cult? Also, isn't it rather xenophobic to assume the Yaks don't have friends just because they're not ponies?
Imported from the Crystal Empire to match your northern sensibilities.
Crystal ponies, Yaks, them northern creatures are all the same. 1 inch away from TVMA. We hear Spike doing the dishes less than a second before he walks in. Hallway sinks. It's an Alicorn princess thing.
Was she always like this? Well, she always was a little shy.
I take great offense to the derogatory use of my name. Clip show alert! If you or a loved one has been exposed to recycled animation, you may be entitled to compensation.
Look, Twilight Twinkle. Sparkle. Whatever.
Every time you mispronounce a pony's name, a trademark lawyer dies of a stroke.
Twilight Twinkle, Twilight Twinkle, Twilight Twinkle, Twilight Twinkle, Twilight Twinkle.
You've got a lot of friends, Moon Dancer.
A fact which we just demonstrated by bringing in a family member and 2 old mares who also happen to like books. One may question why Princess Luna wears shoes to bed. The more pressing question is, does she keep them on while stepping into her slippers?
Prepared everything exactly as you requested.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to locate your Dakimakura of choice. However, Spike has offered to lend you his rarity plushie. Achieving TVY by technicality means punches rarely actually connect.
Anything in a dream, remember?
You know, that reminds me, we could just dream up a giant anti-Tantabus which saves the day in seconds, but that's fine, you can fulfill your fantasy of being a princess too.
The ponies from Ponyville.
That's the problem with living in Equestria's token small-town village. No matter how many times you save the world, you'll still be known as the ponies from Ponyville.
Every poll Sassy Saddles took, you were the most popular princess.
It's canon, folks. Us lunatics need to do better. Applejack's hat momentarily becomes possessed by the forces of Tartarus.
100 more princess dresses?
This is what 100 sheets of paper actually looks like. If orders use more than 1 sheet, then this sin is for being wasteful.
Spitfire's mom sent a message that she was sick. Fly in her place.
This is the best thing ever!
Best thing ever! Shame Spitfire's mom had to get sick. I hope she survives whatever affliction she has. But still, best thing ever!
My daughter's a Wonderbolt, but I don't see her up there. Do you know Spitfire?
You know, Spitfire, the captain of the Wonderbolts, the world-famous flying team we're here to see right now. I'm related to her.
If there's anything else you can remember, dish.
You'll have to forgive her. Rarity is easily distracted by neglected mugs.
Dish.
No, Trotter on the Roof is one of his favorites.
Instead of balancing atop a roof while playing a fiddle, they're just stomping around up there.
Sounds crazy, no?
Your extreme awesomeness is backfiring on me!
I miss when you were just a background pony. Sweetie Belle knocks to respect their privacy, but asserts authority by coming in anyway. It's okay, weird old guy. My waifu isn't real either. Fun fact, this scene was cut just before Derpy crashed the parade. Or rather, crashed into. Excuse me, what is this? You won't even find this level of pointless randomness in a YouTube poop.
YouTube poop. YouTube is poop.
Pinky rushing by is the most exciting thing to happen during the daily sit in silence at the picnic tables meeting. Here we have Neil and Dell from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Here we have the mom from Home Alone. And here we have Pinkie Pie from My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. This image of a candy cane, it's from Wikipedia. But here's one better. The roof of this gingerbread house is used from this photo released under a Creative Commons license. That means it's free to use, if credit is given, which I don't see. Someone should send Hasbro a copyright claim for a change. Pinky's shenanigans aren't a sin, but her disregard for the complete shattering of her friend's psyche sure is. Applejack will never be the same. This scene really needs to be fixed. At least that's what this animation note says.
May Providence favor thee well.
God is canon, best known for his overpowered and unrealistically perfect OC.
Vampire fruit bat. Ugh, definitely no.
This joke sets up the fact Fluttershy does indeed wear the costume by the end, but why would Rarity make this costume with a black dress before Fluttershy decided to wear a simple black dress and only later make that part of the Flutterbat costume? It's a classic bootstrap paradox, but those usually involve time travel.
This one will look gorgeous on you. Period costumes are all the rage this year.
Which is why I'm a fish.
What are those?
Fluttershy reveals her power level. Animation error. Twilight appears twice in this shot. Either that or one of these is a costume, but they both look exactly like Twilight, so it's probably an error. Oranges grow on trees, right? Does this count?
It was a hoe snake.
In the seedier parts of Ponyville, every corner has a hoe snake.
What kind of fertilizer have you had your nose in, Twilight?
Applejack's revealing euphemism comes from experience on the farm.
You mean like this?
Should we question why Pinky just happened to have a Polaroid of her rump? Pinky imitates the poop emoji. This denied brohoof.
Mission failed.
Applejack is absolutely enamored by her friend's butt, only in My Little Pony. The bane of all cutie marks are symbols which are directional. Rara's right flank has backwards music notes. This raises some questions. For example, do ponies actually have two different cutie marks? Is one considered right and the other considered backward? Is this a sin or an interesting social dynamic of pony? Better sin it just in case. This is an outdoor set in the middle of the day. Is Celestia backstage operating the lighting? Twilight comes out onto the runway, but then she walks backwards and falls into the crowd off screen. So what color was Spike's egg anyway? Here it's white and green. Spike himself recalls it as being purple and green, but in season 1 and later in this very episode we see 2 shades of purple. Maybe there are actually 3 different Spikes roaming around. That would definitely explain some of his episodes.
But I know one place that could never change.
Golden Oak Library?
Also supposed to be a castle that goes with it.
Next time, read the fine print. Castle sold separately.
And even with Princess Celestia leading the charge.
She says that as if it wasn't to their detriment. Most conflict we see her in results in her easy capture or a sudden nap. She's the Princess of Cabin Nap.
Chrysalis and her army tried to take over Canterlot, but my friends and I stopped her.
Oh, is that how you remember things, Twily? I recall you being utterly defeated and saved by your older brother and your babysitter. Pinkie Pie's wings are an alicorn shape. Also, Pinkie Pie has wings.
We could be stuck doing this for all eternity.
Or just until one of us dies of old age. You really want to take your chances against an alicorn, Starlight? It was just dumb luck Twilight pulled her in at such an appropriately somber future. They could have just as easily both been killed upon arrival. The real nightmare is this castle. Whip Pan, more like Flip Pan, am I right? Suspiciously shaped castle. Rude Castle will never find a +1 with that attitude. Castle gives us the bird. Maybe the castle's not so bad. It did bring us these middle finger jokes after all. Hasbro, that's not very princess-like. The ultimate party pooper. The true Tantabus. It haunts the nightmares of bronies. This out-of-style castle. This obscene castle should be investigated. Middle finger castle is oddly appropriate for a Manhattan episode. No pony would volunteer to be this castle's sister. This castle should have a cutie mark because everyone knows its purpose. Castle isn't even worth an establishing shot. Castle is Hasbro's gift to fans. This is how the castle always appears to fans. Castle itself is a not-so-subtle inside joke Hasbro directed toward us. Castle is a ruder gesture than anything the feuding families ever did. Castle is a reverse redemption story. Starlight Glimmer is the true hero for getting rid of the middle finger castle. Thank you, Glimmy! You know what? I've been sending the castle for an entire season. It's time for something new. But before that, let's return the message. Right back at you.